Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of Saturday Morning Coffee with Back to Basics Dog Training. For those of you who know me or don't know me, I'm Leon. I'm the head trainer here at Back to Basics Dog Training, and each and every Saturday morning at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I bring you this live free dog training Q&A session. So those of you who are watching me now live or later on the replay, please shoot a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. Give me a shout out. Say good morning, good afternoon, what's up, whatever. Let me know where you're watching from. Today I loaded up some videos, or I'm going to attempt to load up some videos. I talk every week about mastering the walk and how important it is. Good morning, Lisa. How important the mastering the walk is with our dogs. So a couple of years ago, I had the privilege of working with a dog named Bodie, and Bodie is an Australian Shepherd, I believe, or a cattle dog or whatever, who had a lot of energy. The walks were disastrous with when they went to go walk him with his brother. He was just all over the place, pulling people, twisting around people's legs. I mean, it was horrible. I actually have a before and a couple of after videos that I'll narrate as they go through, because from what I understand, the sound doesn't work on the videos. So it's, I preach how important the mastering the walk is. But in order to have that truly happy, from when time allows, how do you inspire a dog you just rescued who was fed people food to transition to dog food? That's a great question. One thing um, is use your leash a little bit more during mealtime. I'm going to assume, based on this question, that basically he or she begs for food when humans are eating and is used to getting it. So one thing I would do is definitely no people food at the table. Keep the dog on a leash. Dog create personal space while you're eating. So if you're sitting down in the dining room or in the kitchen or wherever you're eating, claim at least a 3 to 4 foot radius around you. When you need the leash to do this, so every time the dog comes into your personal space, you're going to be nope, and then guide them out. Use the word out or whatever word you want to use. Guide them, have them in a sit position. Good. Go back to eating. I just recently did this actually with dogs I was doing a board and train up on Long Island with, and the dog. I try to sit down at the center island to eat a meal, and the dogs are right there staring at me. I mean, like, made it very uncomfortable for me to eat. I don't like when people stare at me. I'm not going to like when dogs stare at me. So what I did is I got their leashes and I used, my energy out. They came in, nope, a little correction with the leash, out. And I think the first meal I ate took me about an hour. But I kept going through it until the point where they got it. When I just said out, they left the area, they gave me my personal space. I was able to eat my meal. And if you do it consistently enough and you stay calm, remember my 4 C's of dog training: calm, confidence, consistency to get the control, you will see that they will totally ignore you while you're eating. The other thing is feed them on schedules. Feed him or her on schedule. And what do I mean by that? You put their kibble down, bring them over to it, put it down for 15, 20 minutes. If they don't touch it, pick it up, wait for the next meal. Rinse and repeat. Guys, dogs will not starve themselves to death. They will eat when they're hungry. When they get to that point, they will definitely eat. The biggest mistake people have when the dogs are used to people food is they'll put people food in their bowl to entice them to eat the kibble. But you're still giving them, they'll pick out the people food and leave the kibble. So if you just take the time, I worked with a dog. I had a dog that I used to board all the time, Patty, who was terrified. Every time she came over, she was just shut down, terrified, didn't want to eat, didn't want to do anything. I mean, she'd go out. It was an argument to get her back into the house because she was just a very insecure dog. So the first 2 or 3 days, sometimes she just did not eat in my house. And the hardest thing for me and my wife and my family to do is watch this. But I said it's so important for her to let her eat on her own. Don't force feed her. Don't bring the food to her. She's got to unlock her brain. There's nothing to fear in my house. There's nothing for her to be that shut down about. And within a day, usually it took a day or two, she would eat her meal. And she ate it. And then after that, I didn't have a problem. But the first day or two was tough because we had to watch her not eat. But the thing is, she will eat. And I knew it. Same thing with Lisa with your dog. What you do is you put the food down 15, 20 minutes. If they don't touch it, pick it up, wait for the next meal. Don't leave it down for them to choose. You're going to set the schedule. And then morning they don't eat, he or she doesn't eat, pick up the food, give them the food for dinner. Rinse and repeat. Eventually, they're going to get hungry enough that they're going to eat. Big thing is that when you are eating or your family is eating, that dog should be nowhere near you. When you're cooking, the dog should be nowhere near you. You want to take away the excitement of the human food, and that's by creating specific rules, boundaries, and limitations. By when you're cooking, escort the dog out of the kitchen, give them a safe place to be. Good. This is where the place command, guys, is real crucial. When you're doing things, especially around food, the place command is so crucial, and I can get into that if you guys want. Um, but I definitely do want to queue up the video soon. But good morning, Donna. Donna asked, I have I have a male 2-year-old Shih Tzu that will nip at you if you pick something up that's near it. For example, a tissue, a stick, even polynos that fall from trees. How do you stop this? He is a chronic barker. Okay, so he when dogs do this resource guarding type of activity, they feel it's their job to they're in charge. So I always say you set a dog up for success. How do you do this, guys? This is when you deal with a dog that nips when you go to take something. Please exercise on the side of caution. Resource guarding can be very serious. Yes, it's only a Shih Tzu. It's a small thing. Yes, if it bites you, it's going to hurt, but it's not going to cause major catastrophe. But still, err on the side of caution. Um, my suggestion always is when you deal with resource guarding, because there is a potential for a nip or a bite, please consult with a trained professional, me. Preferably have a one-on-one private session. Um, but in the meantime, what you can do is you take these objects, the sticks, the tissues, these polynoses, well, I'm not really sure what that is, or anything that the dog may resource guard. Do it in a controlled environment. Have him on a leash, and if you have a deck or a patio, or even in the living room or the kitchen or wherever where it's a controlled environment, you put these objects down. And one thing for the small dogs, guys, also buy a pair of leather work gloves, because this way, if they bite that, they don't break skin. They still get bruised, but you don't break the skin. And then when you go to pick up these objects, you have the leash, so you know, okay, you can only go so far. You go to pick it up. You go with your calm confidence. I own this. This is mine. I'm taking it. I just did this again up on Long Island with a dog that was resource guarding. Um, and with the leash in my hand, if I see a change, if I see that the stare at the tissue, stare at the tissues, I'm going to pop, before I even go to pick it up, if I see them focused on the object, I'm going to make a slight correction with my discipline sound. Nope. To unlock the brain from focusing on this object. Then when I get them to unlock the brain, because hopefully what you do is nope, and they go like this. What do you want? They look at you. Then you just go down with calm confidence. You pick it up. If they react, you have your leash on, so you save. Boom. Wear a pair of leather work gloves. It definitely will save broken skin and blood. But you have to be calm, confident. Don't go into the mindset, I'm going to pick up this tissue and he's going to bite me, because your energy is not calm, confident. Go in with the mindset, I'm picking up the damn tissue or the stick or whatever, and work on it for a long time down in a controlled environment. Because then we can go out and do walks, and if they go to pick up something, we can rinse and repeat. But in a controlled environment where there's less stimulus to distract them, the more you do this inside a controlled environment, the safer it is for him, for you, for everybody. You start rewiring the brain or reconditioning the brain to allow you to take these things, because you're the calm, confident pack leader he's looking for. A calm, confident pack leader is just going to take it. It's mine. I own it. So the dog I did this on with on Long Island, from what I was told from the family, had resource guarding issues, and he got the landscaper ran over one of those hard bones that you can stuff with stuff, so they can take hours to try to get the stuff out. and it broke it off into a million little pieces. And one day this dog went outside. I didn't realize this happened and came in with a small piece that was a cut hazard or a choking hazard. And it was not a choice in my mind. I had to get this from a dog I know from what the family told me, showed resource guard. I just went over, went into our mouth and took it like I owned it. And she was like, whoa. You can see a look on her face. She was like, whoa, nobody's ever done that. They're all hesitant. You just did it. And that was it. She gave it up. She gave it up. But again, guys, when you're dealing with resource guarding, please, please err on the side of caution. If you are going to be hesitant trying to take something from your dog or in the proximity of your dog, and you're not calm, confident, they are going to react in a way you're not going to like. They're going to read your energy saying, you don't really trust me not to bite you. Whenever I deal with it, I trust this dog. I trust my instincts. I trust everything. I stay calm. I stay confident. I'll use gloves. I'll use the leash. Some resource guard dogs that were really bad, I tethered the leash to something, a fixed object that they couldn't move, so I know I have 6 feet where my line is for safety, and then I'll work on it, and I just keep doing it until they understand. It's reconditioning, rewiring their brain to allow you to accept it. But if you're not calm, confident, it's not going to work. And believe it or not, Dom, putting on those heavy duty leather workman work gloves that you would use in your yard or whatever electrician would use gives you that confidence that, hey, even if he bites me, he ain't gonna break my skin. So you could just reach in, boom, take it. Yes. And when he doesn't react, praise, praise. Guys, remember, I've said this week in, week out, if you're saying no to your dog, but you're not teaching the dog how to get that no to a yes, you're not helping your dog. So remember, if you are able to get the object, praise, 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 praise. Um, don't give treats. Don't use redirection. Dog has a stick. I need to get the stick. Let me give you a piece of chicken. You're not teaching the dog a damn thing. I don't like redirecting. I don't like giving one object for another. That's bribery. Um, Dogs should give it to me because I asked them to give it to me. It shouldn't be up for debate. So I hope that answered your question, Nana. I don't know where you're located. Um, But if it's something you don't feel confident with, please consult and get a professional in there to help guide you through that journey. Um, because I don't want to ever see anybody get bit. If a trainer gets bit, they just, that's part of our job. If I get bit, I get bit. I try not to. It hurts. Nobody likes it. It sucks. Um, so getting back to what we're talking about, and also, Donna, a big and Lisa, a big thing to show the dogs that you are truly going to be their pack leader, that stable, confident, calm, confident pack leader you want, is mastering the walk. Mastering the walk is crucial. Guys, I don't care if you have a big backyard, walking your dog is so crucial. Big backyard don't mean nothing. So I'm going to queue up a video that I have here of dog Bodie, and this is the before video. And I'm going to narrate it because you really can't tell from the sound doesn't come through. So I'm going to queue up the video. Just give me 1 second. Hopefully you guys actually see this video. Um, if you're in the comments, let me know that you see it. So I'm going to play the video. So you see mom is walking Bodie here. And why isn't it working? There we go. So hopefully it's working now. As you can see, why? Oh, I guess I have to stay in the screen. That's stupid. As you can see, Bodie is all over the place. I'm going to actually rewind it because I think we missed some stuff here. So here's Bodie walking. You see, trying to get in front, going behind, twisting the leash around her. Look at mom trying to finagle the leash. Boom, pulls. I mean, this is the ultimate of walking a dog. Walking a dog is a lot of work. You want to walk with your dog. And watch what happens here towards the end. It becomes amazing. Look at this ball. Watch. Here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. Boom, I got to get there. Look at mom. She actually, came off her feet almost. Um, so again, guys, let me know if you saw that video. Whoever's watching, please let me know in the comments. And now I'm going to look for one of the after videos. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to pause it because I got to share the screen. Just give me 1 second here. Guys, this is all new to me. So we're going to share the screen. Let me find it. Here we go. Share the screen. And now we're going to play the video. And as you can see now, this is mom walking with Bodhi, same dog. And look at this, no leash. Look at the response that Bodhi is giving. I'm looking at her for guidance constantly. She doesn't have any treats. She's using, oh, there he made a mistake. A little mistake she made is she walked towards him. She should have made him come back. But look at the focus this dog is showing to the handler. And this is about a month or two after we did the training. There's actually a full video on my YouTube channel of the training session that I did with Bodhi. It's the whole Master in the Walk training session. It's about an hour and a half long. It's a long watch, but if you break it down to sections, you'll actually see everything I talk about in our video. When I do these lives, is what we did with Bodhi. And what it is, same thing I do on my YouTube video of Master in the Walk. I'm also going to queue up another video here. Just give me 1 second. This is just showing you that a different handler. This is now Dad working with Bodhi. I'm going to share this screen and we're going to play it. And this is Dad doing it. He's holding the leash here. You can see Bodhi, drops the leash. Bodhi's still staying right with him. He stops. He asks Bodhi to sit. And he continues to walk. And you can see, Mom actually has it a little bit better than Dad. And there's the other dog. So even with distractions, but I like the fact that they ask him to sit. He sits, and then he just gets it. They touch the butt. He sits down. So, guys, that's the importance of Master of the Walk. And the feedback I got from them regarding that was their inside the house life was so much better. The dogs weren't as rambunctious in the house. The rough housing in the house and in the yard wasn't as bad because now they challenged both dogs mentally and they became tired. And when they're tired, they don't roughhouse. They play nicer. You don't have to worry about a lot. A calm, tired dog is a good dog. And Don, I don't know if you're still watching, but I forgot to answer your part of your question about the chronic barking. It depends on what they're barking at. If they're barking at everything when you're outside on a walk, definitely you have to disagree. Boom, no, sit, pay attention to what I'm doing, and stop this. If they're barking at people on the street, I don't ever, when I say no to a dog, guys, no is final. You're never allowed to do it again. So barking is that gray area that we have to deal with in this world. I want a dog to bark when it sees something on the street. I want a dog to bark when it thinks he hears a noise outside. But once I check out the situation, I look outside, I just see it's, my neighbor walking, it's kids riding a bicycle, or it was a squirrel running on the roof, whatever. And I know we're safe. I use the word enough, which to me is thanks for doing your job. I got it from here. You never want to discourage barking because barking is your alarm system. It tells somebody who is checking out the neighborhood, hey, I got a dog, go to the neighbor's house, go to a different house, go to a different block, get the hell out of here, basically. So you never want to you never ever want to say no to barking. So if they're barking at the landscapers, they're allowed to because you want the landscapers to know you have a dog. What you can do is if you can schedule it, if they're barking inside and everything outside, ask a neighbor to walk by. Landscapers come at such and such time every Tuesday. Have the leash ready. Landscapers come. Enough. Thanks, pal. I got the job. I got it from here. Good. And rinse and repeat. Again, guys, part of the 4 C's of training is consistency. Consistency is very simply doing the same thing day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out, till it becomes muscle memory in not only the dog, but in you. And consistency also has to be with everybody in the household. If 3 out of 4 people are doing one thing and that one person's doing something different, it's sending such a mixed message to the dogs get confused. So stay consistent, stay calm, stay confident to have that control that you want to have. With that being said, guys, for whatever reason, I'm not getting a lot of questions again. I've said this last week, and Tuesday evenings. Just remember, guys, I do this live every Tuesday evening as well at 8 o'clock. I may, for the summer, be stopping doing it every week. I think Tuesday nights I'm going to continue every week. Saturdays, it's either going to switch to month by twice a month or once a month. There's a lot of activities down here on Saturdays that I need to get my butt to and show up the Back to Basics colors and get my name out here, down here. Good morning, Alana. How things going? I know I have to reach out to you. Um, Again, when so my Saturday mornings, I think I'm going to stop doing weekly, starting probably June, just so I can get some different events down here, get my name out there, my reputation built down here. Um, it will be probably by at least starting off twice a month, um, but we'll see. We'll play it by ear. With that being said, guys, since there's not a lot of questions coming through, we're going to wrap it up early tonight. Um, of course, while I'm doing my wrap up, if anybody pops up with a question, of course, I will be more than happy to answer it. You know what? Since Alana's on, I'm going to go on to a little bit of a. I'm going to not end it. I'm going to talk about something for people that do rescue and people that rescue dogs and bring them into their homes, or find dogs and bring them into their homes. A couple things people need to be aware of. When we rescue dogs, one, they need a decompression time. That is crucial. In the beginning, they may not show you who they truly are, but in the beginning is the best time to set the clear rules, boundaries, limitations that you want this dog to follow. I know a lot of people have issues with crates. If I rescue a dog, I don't care if the dog is a puppy or the dog is 6 years old, 10 years old. First thing I'm going to do when I bring them into my house is I'm going to introduce a crate. And if they don't like it, I'm going to introduce it and make it a good thing. Um, and I'm going to actually, even on an older dog, treat them as if they're a puppy. So if they're going to go in their crate, they're going to chill out in their crate. I'm going to take them out of the crate, go to the yard or on our walk, relieve themselves, and then back into the crate. I'll take them out of the crate again, same routine, depending on the age of the dog, how long I'm going to keep them in the crate, and I'll take them out of the crate to feed them. Of course, there could be some playtime in there, but I treat them for the first at least 2 weeks, as if they're brand new puppies. They're going to be re-crate trained. One, we don't know if these dogs that we rescued ever learned how to hold in their bladder and bowels. So they may be the type of dog that I feel a little bit of pressure. I can pee because I've been outside, or I've been in, I never was in a house. I didn't know the rules. I feel a little bit, I poop, whatever, once I feel a little bit of pressure. By using the crate, most dogs don't pee or poop where they sleep. And the right size crate helps. Shouldn't be a huge crate for a Yorkie. It should be enough for them to get up, turn around, lay down. Stand up without hitting their head, turn around, lay down. That's how much room they need. Um, and then you can test it, and you work duration. So if I rescued a 6-year-old dog and I brought him into my house, every 2 to 3 hours, I'd be taking them out of the crate to use the yard for the first few days. And then I'd increase that to 4 hours, then 6, and so on and so forth. Until I knew they could hold it for a reasonable amount of time. Not 24 hours. I would never expect the dog to um, hold it that long. But I would work up to that 8 to 10 hours of a dog holding it. And again, this doesn't matter if it's a puppy or an older dog that we're rescuing. And I would set clear rules, boundaries, limitations once I start allowing them out of the crate, where they're allowed to be in the house. Like if I have a 2-story house, I'm going to block off the upstairs. You're not allowed upstairs. You're not allowed out of my sight for the next couple of weeks. You're going to be out of your crate. You're going to be with me. You're going to be either tethered to me, or you're going to be where I can keep an eye on you at all times. Because again, we don't know, and I don't really care about their past, but they haven't learned the rules and specific rules and structure that you want in your house. You have to establish it. And then, if they're not being supervised, you're going upstairs to, you're going to shower, you're cooking, and you can't focus on the dog. They should be in the crate, and that's going to be a couple months, because they're going to be more appreciative because you're setting clear rules, boundaries, limitations. They need that type of structure. Don't feel bad for them because they were rescued. Don't look at them the first 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks and say, oh, look at what a great dog I have. And then in 6 weeks, they become holy terrors because that decompression period, they're not showing you who they are. Once they show you who they are, it's harder to fix. So if you started from day one, and I do have a video on my YouTube channel called How to Introduce a Dog to a House, into your home or something like that, you should watch that because I explain how to set those clear rules, boundaries, and limitations for your dogs. It will help you have a better balanced dog from day one. And that's what it's about. So now, with that being said, I really wanted to discuss that a little bit. With that being said, I'm going to wrap it up for the weekend. As always, thank you for inviting me into your home each and every Saturday morning. It's truly an honor, a privilege, and a blessing to be here with you guys. If there's no further questions, as always, stay healthy, stay safe, God bless, and remember, together we can help one dog and one family at a time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. I'll see you Tuesday night.